Hello, everybody. Myself Praveen Singh, and I welcome all of you on this online platform of IBE. And in this video, I'm going to discuss the test, the ancient history test that has been taken by the IBE. Clear? So, before this start of this discussion, I am requesting all of you to kindly subscribe the channel of this YouTube channel of IBE, and if possible, then kindly share it on your Facebook and on your other online media platforms. Clear? Uh, so, as you know that the online classes of this APPSC is going on, and in this particular app you will find the faculties from the Delhi, and many of them are from the reputed coaching institute of the Delhi, my dear. So, without wasting the time, I am going to start with the first test, the first module test of this ancient history. So, let me first increase the size of this so that you can have a better look. Yes. Uh, the first question is uh, Harappan or Indus Valley civilization flourished during. Clear? During which period? So, uh, no Paleolithic, no Neolithic, no Megalithic. The answer is what? Answer is the Chalcolithic. Although the Harappan or Indus Valley civilization itself represents what? Represents the Bronze Age. But at that time, the maximum part of the Indian subcontinent, except this Harappan civilization, were under what? This Chalcolithic age. Chalcolithic means what? The phase when the human being used the tools made of copper or stone. So, here you have to take what? The Chalcolithic. But suppose if here you will find uh, an option related to Bronze Age, then you have to tick what? The Bronze Age, because Harappan civilization represents the Bronze Age civilization. But why we have to tick over here the Chalcolithic age? Because at that time the maximum part of the Indian subcontinent were under this Chalcolithic phase, and apart from that there is no option related to what? This Bronze Age. So this is the first answer is what? The Chalcolithic. Now comes the second thing, the question number second. The first metal to be extensively used by the people in India was, your answer would be what? Copper. In the ancient India classes, I have discussed all these questions multiple times, my dear, multiple times. So the answer is what? The copper. Copper was in fact the first metal which was to be used by the human being. So copper in India they have used very extensively. Then comes to the question number 3. Which of the following civilization is not associated with the Harappan civilization, my dear? So the answer is what? The Chinese civilization. Because in the classroom I have already told you that the Harappan civilization has a very or they had established trade links with the Mesopotamia, the Egypt, and the Sumerian. Here Mesopotamia and the Sumerian are what? Are synonyms, because Mesopotamian civilization, that is the world's first civilization, is also known as Sumerian civilization, my dear. Clear? So the Harappan civilization had no contact with whom? With this the Chinese civilization. So the answer is what? Answer is D. Clear? Now comes to the question number 4. Of the following scholar, who was the first to discover the traces of the Harappan civilization? Traces of the Harappan civilization. It's a very simple, and your answer would be what? This Dayaram Sahni, because he was the first who excavated the first city of the Harappan or Indus Valley civilization, that is the Harappa. Clear? Although these all, the Alexander Cunningham, the John Marshall also found what? The traces, है ना? But they were particularly I am talking about this Alexander Cunningham. He was not able to identify it as what? As what? As the Harappan civilization. So here answer would be the Dayaram Sahni. But Alexander Cunningham was one of the earliest person who have visited the Harappan sites. Clear? Now comes to the question number 5. The Harappan civilization achieved far greater advancement than Sumer, Elam, etc. on accounts of its what? Account of its what? Answer is the town planning. Harappa across the world, Harappan civilization across the world is very famous for what? It's a town planning. It's a proper scientific town planning. While the town planning of the Sumerian was a kind of haphazard town planning. So why it is very famous? Answer is what? Is the town planning. Then comes, see my dear, if you are attending this season, that is the test series or this online discussion of test series, so through only test series you will be able to revise your topic as well. Clear? And our effort would be what? Our effort would be to upload the discussion of test series in our the YouTube channel. So let us move to question number 6. The town planning in the Harappan civilization was inspired by a regard for what? Clear? Why Harappan, the town planning in the Harappan civilization was inspired by a regard for? The answer is what? Sanitation and the public health. Harappans were concerned for the cleanliness and the sanitation. So answer is what? The C. Now let us comes to the question number 7. The Indus or Harappan civilization is distinguished from the other contemporary civilization by its what? Once again it's a kind of repeated question. So here the answer would be A, that is the town planning. So now comes to the question number 8. You have to what? Match this these Harappan towns. So Ropar, where is Ropar? So Ropar, it is in the Punjab. Clear? Ropar, it is in Punjab. Alamgirpur, I have already discussed you that Alamgirpur was the easternmost boundary or easternmost point of the Harappan civilization, and it was in the Uttar Pradesh. And why Ropar is famous? The answer is what? Here historians and archaeologists have discovered a burial or a graveyard where a dog was buried along with his master. A dog was buried along with his master. At which place? The Ropar. Then comes the Kalibangan. Kalibangan, it's a very famous and important Harappan site, and it is in the Rajasthan's Ganganagar district, but right now it is in the Hanumangarh district. Clear? So Kalibangan means the black bangles, and it was an important center of bangle making. Then comes the Dholavira. It's a very important site, the Dholavira, and you must remember this site. And where is Dholavira? So my dear, Dholavira, it is in the Gujarat. And this is the only one Harappan site which was divided into three parts. Normally the Harappan towns were divided into what? Into the two parts, the citadel and the lower town. But this one was the only Harappan town which was divided into the three parts. So Dholavira, it is in Gujarat, and now comes the E, that is Banawali. It is in the Haryana. So now you can take this A is what the 2, then comes the B is Alamgirpur B1, yes B1, B1. Now comes the C Kalibangan, it is Kalibangan C4, C4. Yes, so your answer would be what? Your answer would be A. Now, the date of Harappan civilization has been fixed on the basis of, I have already discussed the chronology of the Harappan civilization and how we come to know about this particular date through the carbon dating or the radiocarbon dating. So, your answer would be D. I have already discussed about this C14, the carbon dating. So, the mature phase of the Harappan civilization comes under this phase, that is the between 2300 to 1750 BCE. Then comes the question number 10. The most of the large Harappan towns had fortification which served the purpose of what? So it the served for the purpose of safety, protection against the cattle raiders, and protection against floods. So here your answer would be what? All the above. All the above. For safety measures, for protection against flood, for protection against cattle raiders, etc. You can say. Then comes the question number 11. The cereals grown by the people of the Harappan civilization was or where? So wheat, rice and millet. So your answer would be what? All of the above. Clear? Rice was grown in which part? In the Gujarat, wheat in the northwest region and the millets as well. So your answer would be the D. Hai. Then the 12, the utensil of the Indus Valley people were mainly made of. Your answer is what? Clay, not copper, not bronze. The utensils of the Indus Valley people were mainly made of clay. Although it was a Bronze Age civilization, but it doesn't mean that the Harappan peoples they have mainly prepared or mainly made the utensils of this bronze or copper. And at that time, they have made their utensils mainly of what? Clay. Now then the question number 13. Which of the following metal was not known to the Indus Valley people? Clear? I have discussed this and the answer is what? The iron. Iron. They were aware about the gold, they were aware about the silver. Gold was brought from the Kolar mines of the Karnataka. Silver was imported from the Mesopotamia, and the copper was imported from the Khetri, Rajasthan. And then what? Then the Harappans have no knowledge of iron. Clear? So the answer of the question number 13 is D. Now let us move to the question number 14. Which of the following object was not worshipped by the Indus Valley people? Mother goddess was worshipped, Pasupati Siva, tree such as people and acacia, and then this one, the Trimurti was not worshipped. You have the various images of Mother Goddess across the Harappan civilization. Then the seals of Pasupati Mahadev, where it is found. So it is found in the Mohenjo-daro. When I was taking the class, then I have shown you the pictures of this Pasupati Mahadev. I have told you that the Pasupati Mahadev had what? 3 headgears. Clear na? 3 headgears, and he was surrounded by so many animals, my dear. Pasupati Mahadev. So answer is what? D. Trimurti. Now the question number 15. At which of the following Harappan site has a supposed dockyard been found? Where historians and archaeologists have discovered dockyard. It's a very important, very important questions for your upcoming prelims exam. And I have discussed this fact so many times with pictures in the PPT and in the PDF documents. And your answer is what? Lothal. Lothal is the site where historians and archaeologists have discovered what, my dear? Dockyard. And so it was a kind of port city. The Lothal was a port city. And where is Lothal? So Lothal, it is, this one is the Gujarat. So here it is in the Gujarat Kathiawar Peninsula, on the bank of which river? On the bank of Bhogwa river. Now, the question number 16. The economy of the Indus people was based on, है ना, agriculture, trade and commerce, and the craft. So here you have to tick what? All the above. There were agricultures, there were trade and commerce, and the various kind of crafts. So answer is what? D. Then the Harappan civilization declined as a result of Aryan invasion or decline in foreign trade, ecological factors, and not definitely known factors. So I have told you the answer is C, and this theory has been given by whom? uh, the Romila Thapar and Fair Service. This theory, the ecological factor, was an important reason for the decline of the Harappan civilization. The theory has been given by whom? By the Romila Thapar and Fair Service. So here your answer would be C. The most common animal figure found at all the Harappan sites is unihorn or unicorn. What? Bull or unicorn simply? UNICORN. So answer is what? A. Unicorn in fact was the most sacred animals in what? In the Harappan civilization. Unicorn. So answer is A, my dear. Clear? Now the question number 19, the term Aryan, Indo-Aryan or Indo-European denotes a concept. It is a bit tough question, but those students who have attended my online lectures are fully much aware that for them it is not a very tough question, rather it is a very easy question. And I have many times told you that the word Aryan, Indo-Aryan or the Indo-European never denotes a race, it never denotes a religious or the cultural groups, rather it denotes what? A linguistic group. Who used to speak in which language? The Sanskrit language. So here the answer is what? A. And those who haven't attended my online lectures, they found a bit tough question. But such type of questions may be asked by the APPSC. Clear? So my dear, this is the right time to focus on your study, because most of the students, they are not in fact focusing on their study. They are in the dull phase, and they are just watching this Netflix or the Amazon Prime videos. But I am requesting all of you that focus on your study and do attend this test series very seriously. Now, this question number 20. According to the most widely accepted view, the Aryans originally came from. Answer is what? Answer would be the Central Asia. They came from Central Asia, and this theory has been given by whom? By the European scholar Max Muller, my dear. Clear? Then comes this 21. Which of the following Vedas was compiled first? It's a very simple question. The Rig Veda. There were four Veda: the Rig Veda, the Sam Veda, the Yajur Veda, and the last one is the Atharva Veda. And among these four Veda, the first one is compiled this Rig Veda. Now question number 22. Which of the following Veda deals with magical spells and witchcraft? There is the charms and spells, the magical powers. It's once again, it's a very simple question. I have discussed this. Answer is what? D. I have discussed all these Vedas in detail. What is the subject matter of Rig Veda, the Sam Veda, the Yajur Veda, and this Atharva Veda. So in Atharva Veda you will find what? The magical formula. Clear na? The magical formula, the charms and spells to ward off, to keep away the evil forces. Question number 23. The later Vedic age means the age of the compilation of what? Samhita, Brahmana, and Aranyaka. That is all the above. And I think that all of you are fully much aware. The Samhita means the four Veda. Then the commentary written on all the four Vedas is the Brahmana. Then the books written in the forest area and were known as what, Aranyaka, and all these literatures are part of Vedic literature. So all were compiled in the later Vedic period. Later Vedic means what? The time zone that spanned between 1000 to 600 BCE, that is before Common Era. So answer is what? Answer is D. Then the Vedic religion along with its later development is actually known as the Vedic religion along with its later development is actually known as Brahmanism. Initially there was no term called Hinduism. In the early medieval period we come to know this Hinduism, but initially it was a Brahman or Brahman religion, because basically this Vedic religion was founded by the priest or the Brahmins. So the most accurate answer would be what? The B. Then this Vedic Aryans first settled in the region of, it's a very easy question, Sapta Sindhu, that is the area or the region of seven rivers. Seven rivers, the main the Indus and its six important tributaries. Sapta Sindhu, that is, it means they mainly settled in which part? They mainly settled in the Punjab region of Pakistan and the India. Clear? Then comes the 26. It's a very important question. In which of the following contains the famous Gayatri mantra? The answer is what? Answer is the Rig Veda. Under Mandal 3, we found this Gayatri mantra, and this was compiled by whom? The sage Viswamitra. It's a very important question, my dear. Very, very, very important question. Now comes this question number 27. The famous Gayatri mantra is associated to which god? Once again, it's very easy for those students who have attended my class, and the answer is Savita or Savitra. And who was Savitra? So Savitra was a form of sun, god, sun. So in the Vedic period, sun was given the status of god, my dear. So Savita or the Savitra. So this Gayatri mantra is devoted to which god? The Savita or the Savitra. Now the two highest god in the Vedic religion. Its answer is simple, Indra and Varuna. Indra was the god of war, the god of rain, and Varuna is also known as Ritasya Gopa, not Janasya Gopa. Varuna was known as what? Ritasya Gopa. And what is this Ritasya Gopa? Protector of the natural order or the morality. So you must remember these two, Indra and the Varuna, were the most important god. Clear na? But suppose if option would be like this, Indra and the Agni, then your answer would be what? Indra and the Agni. Because after Indra, who was the second most important god? Answer is what? Agni. But here there is no option. So that is why you have to tick what? Indra and the Varuna. Now comes the question number 29. Division of the Vedic society into four classes is clearly mentioned in. It's a tough question, but I have discussed this in my video classes, and the answer is what? Purus Sukta of Rig Veda, that is which mandala, my dear? 10 mandala. And it's a very important question, very, very, very important question, and you must remember this, that through which Veda and through which Sukta we come to know about this origin of the Varna system. Varna system. Answer is what? Purusa Sukta. Under which mandala? Under the 10 mandala of which Veda? Of the Rig Veda. Let me first plug this. So, origin of Varna system, Mandala 10, Purus Sukta of Rig Veda. Very, very important question. Now comes to the question number 30. This Vedic god was a breaker of the forts and also a war god. I have already told you. Answer is what? Indra. Indra was also called what? Indra was also called, here I am writing, Indra was also called Purandar or Purandara. Purandara means what? Destroyer or breaker of fort. Destroyer or breaker of fort. Clear? And he was also a war god, and his weapon was thunder. And around 250 hymns was devoted to god Indra in the Rig Veda. Then comes the question number 31. The Vedic economy was based on what? Trade and commerce, craft, agriculture, and cattle rearing. So answer would be what? All the above. Clear? But suppose if a question like this, the Vedic economy was mainly based on, then answer would be what? Agriculture and cattle rearing. So you can also write here either C or D. Clear? But there was trade and commerce, there were craft, and there were cattle, agriculture and cattle rearing. So the most appropriate answer would be what? All the above. But suppose if a question is asked like this, that the Vedic economy was mainly based on, then answer would be agriculture and cattle rearing. Now comes to the question number 32. The normal form of government during the Vedic period was, answer is monarchy. I have already told you in the class, the head of the Vedic polity was the king or the Rajan or what? Or Gopa. And he was also called Janasya Gopa, who? The king. And what is the meaning of Janasya Gopa, my dear? The meaning of the Janasya Gopa is protector of the tribe. So the normal form of government during the Vedic period was monarchical form of government. Then comes the question number 33, the two popular assembly of the Vedic period. It's a very, very, very important question, I must say. And the two most popular assemblies of the Vedic period were Sabha and Samiti. Sabha, the association of the elders, and the Samiti, the association of all the adult male and female of the tribe. So the association of the elders was the Sabha, and the association of all the male and female, all the adult male and female of that tribe is called Samiti. It's a very important question. So Sabha and Samiti were what? The political assemblies or the tribal association of the Vedic period. Then the philosophy propounded in the Upanishad is also known as what? Clear? The philosophy propounded in the Upanishad is also known as Vedanta or Advait. So what you would say? So see, the Upanishad is also known as Vedanta. Clear na? Upanishad is also known as what? The Vedanta. And the philosophy is also called the Vedanta philosophy, because Advait, the term Advait was given by whom? By the Sankaracharya in the early medieval period. So your answer would be B, Vedanta philosophy. And Upanishad is also known as Upanishad, that is the concluding part of the Veda. Now comes the 35, question number 35. After the growth of Vedic religion, the most important development in the history of so-called Hinduism. Vedic religion, the most important development in the history of the so-called Hinduism was the development of what? Question number 35. So the development of what? The Bhagavatism. Bhagavatism became very popular, and in this Bhagavatism, the Hindus worship Lord Krishna or the five heroes of Vrishni dynasty, and the most important one is the Lord Krishna. Bhagavatism refers to worship of what? This Vasudev Krishna. Vasudev Krishna. Clear? Vaishnavism, a later development of Bhagavatism, advocates the worship of Vaishnavism advocates the worship of what? Vishnu. So answer is A, Vishnu. So in Vaishnavism, Hindus worship the 10 incarnation of the Lord Vishnu. How many incarnation? 10 incarnation of Lord Vishnu. The Hindu social sacraments such as marriage, etc., are performed on the basis of the rituals described in what? In the Griha Sutra. Griha Sutra. Answer is what? C. Griha Sutra. So in Griha Sutra, we found various type of what? The rituals that were to be performed by the householders. Now comes the founder of Jainism was, so who was the first Tirthankara? Answer is Rishabh Deva or the Adinath. So answer is A. And he belongs to which region? Ayodhya. Now comes the Vardhaman Mahavira, the 24th Tirthankara of Jainism and the most important one as well. And he is also called the real founder of Jainism. He was born at which place and died at which place? So your answer is what? Born at Kundagrama and died at Pava. Clear? Pava. Kundagrama is the birthplace. And where is Kundagrama? It's a very important question, my dear. This one is also very important. So Kundagrama, it is in the northern part of Bihar, and Pava, it is in the southern part of Bihar, my dear. Now the three gems or three jewels or the three ratna of Jainism. Once again, very important question. So those students who are watching this online videos or watching this online test discussion for the first time, I must tell to those students that prepare very well Buddhism and Jainism. In ancient period, this is the most important topic. That is what? That is the Buddhism and the Jainism, my dear. So in Jainism, we have the three gems or three jewels, and they are what? The right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. Answer is A. Right faith, है ना? Samyak astha, right knowledge, samyak gyan, and right conduct, samyak acharan. So through the by following the three gems or the three ratna of Jainism, and one can able or one can attain kaivalya. 42 of the five vows, that is the five cardinal principle of Jainism, four existed before Mahavira. The one which he added was, and the answer is celibacy, that is observing continence. Observing continence. Answer is what? D. All these four were added, this three, or in fact the four were added by the Parshvanath, that is the no injury, that is non-violence, no stealing, asteya, and a no attachment, aparigrah, etc. All these were added by whom? By the Parshvanath, that is the 23rd Tirthankara. Clear? And then the 24th was added by whom? This fifth one was added by whom? The celibacy or observing continence was added by Mahavir Swami, and this five vows are also called as what? Five cardinal principle or the Panch Mahavrata. Here you have the Panch Anuvrata, but you can there is Panch Anuvrata and there is a Panch Mahavrata as well. Mahavrata. Panch Mahavrata, five cardinal principle. So simply APPSC may ask that Panch Mahavrata is associated or related with which religion? Your answer would be what, my dear? Your answer would be Jainism. Clear? Now comes this question number 43. In Jainism, the aim of life is to attain nirvana or moksha, for which one has to do what? So I have discussed this. To attain kaivalya or nirvana or moksha or salvation, you have to follow what? The three gems and the five vows. So it's a very important question. You must have to follow the three jewels and the five cardinal principle. Now the question number 44. Jainism was divided into two sects, Svetambara and Digambara, during the reign of, answer is very simple, the Maurya पूरा स्टोरी मैं आप लोग को बता चुका हूँ. द स्टोरी यू नो वेरी वेल. द 44 question. Then comes the question number 45. The name Buddha means, once again it's a very simple, enlightened. Enlightened, answer is A. Then comes the 46. It's a very important question, I must say this. It's a very important. So the birth, where? Lumbini. So here, here answer would be D, A. Birth, Lumbini. Attainment of knowledge, where Buddha attained the knowledge? At Bodh Gaya. Then first sermon, where Buddha delivered its first sermon? Answer is this Sarnath. And the place where Buddha died is what? Is Kushinagar. So answer is what? D. It's a very, very important question. You must remember this, my dear students. Then the Buddhism was divided into Mahayana and Hinayana during the reign of, once again it's a very important question, during the reign of what? Kanishka. This one. So the answer of question number 47 is what? Kanishka. During the reign of the Kanishka, the greatest Kushana ruler, he convened the fourth Buddhist council, the great Buddhist council, and in that particular Buddhist council, there were around 18 sects in Buddhism. So all these sects were divided themselves into two main sects, that is the Hinayana and the Mahayana. Clear? Now comes the question number 48, the great exponent of Mahayana Buddhism. It's a very, very important question, and answer is what? Nagarjuna. He was also the propounder of Sunyavada and the author of Madhyamik Karika, and he is also known as Einstein of India, because he believed in the what? Relativity of the knowledge. Who? Nagarjuna. And Nagarjuna was in the court of Kanishka. He was in the court of the greatest Kushana ruler Kanishka, Nagarjuna, and he was a great Buddhist philosopher as well, propounder of Sunya Vada or Madhyamika philosophy of Buddhism. Then once again it's a very important Jataka are the stories of what? The Buddha's previous lives. In Mahayana religion, it is believed that Buddha had taken many births. So you will find story related to the previous birth of the Buddha in which literature? In the Jataka literature. So you must remember this. It's a very important question. Outside India, Buddhism was first accepted in, answer is Sri Lanka. During the reign of Asoka, we have discussed this thing, that Asoka sent his elder daughter and elder son, that is the Sanghamitra and Mahendra, where? To Sri Lanka or the Sinhala island, and to spread the message of Dhamma, and over there they did what? They spread Buddhism. And through which book we come to know that the Mahendra and the Sanghamitra, the elder son and elder daughter of the greatest Mauryan ruler Asoka, spread Buddhism? The answer is the Deep Vamsa and the Mahavamsa. These are the books through which we come to know that the Mahendra and the Sanghamitra, they have spread Buddhism in Sri Lanka or the Sinhala island, my dear. Clear? So in this video, I will discuss only what? I have discussed the 50 questions, and in the next video I will discuss the rest of the 50 questions, because I don't want to make this video very long. Clear na? So here I am ending this test discussion. In the next video you will find the discussion of the remaining 50 questions. Clear? So this is a quick reminder for all of you who are watching this online test discussion, that IBE, Institute of Basic Education, Itanagar, has started this online classes for the APPSC, the upcoming APPSC prelims examinations, and many students across the Itanagar and the Arunachal Pradesh had taken admissions, and they are quite enjoying the class with very good faculties. Of all the faculties are from the Delhi. Clear. So if you are interested to join this online classes, then kindly download the IBE app, and through that app you can access the online videos, you can join the online classes as well. And apart from that, I am also requesting you that if you are serious for this particular exam, then you must join this test series, because we have a regular test, and apart from the regular test series, we have the class test, we have the subject wise test as well. Clear. So thank you for watching this video, and I am requesting you to kindly subscribe this channel of IBE, and if possible kindly share it. So thank you, my dear students.